All right, welcome, broadcast engineers. Today, we are really getting into the weeds of HD radio. We're going to talk about the stuff that makes or breaks a clean signal, the synchronization, the power demands, and the incredible precision you need to pull it all off. Let's jump right in. So, just so you know where this is all coming from, everything we're about to cover is pulled from a super in-depth technical report by Virtualization Options LLC. We're zeroing in on part 3 of their 5-part series, which gets right to the heart of the toughest challenges you're going to face in the field. So, let me ask you this. When you think about your entire HD air chain, from the board to the antenna, what's that one spec? The one that gives you heartburn? The one number that has absolutely zero wiggle room? Well, we're about to find out exactly what it is. And the answer to that question is right here. It all starts with the synchronization challenge. Some people call it the 8-second problem, and it's a fundamental headache that comes baked into the very idea of a hybrid analog-digital broadcast. Here's the core of it. Your good old analog signal, it basically teleports from the studio to the transmitter. But the digital path, it's taking the long scenic route. All that encoding, error correction, and modulation, it all adds up. We're talking a massive 6 to 10 second delay. In our world, that is an absolute eternity. And this is exactly why that delay is such a monster problem. Imagine a car radio blending from the digital signal back to the analog. If they're not perfectly in sync, what does the listener hear? A gap? A glitch? A total train wreck. It's not subtle, and you better believe your phone is going to start ringing with complaints. So how in the world do we fix this? Well, we have to engineer a perfectly seamless blend. And this isn't a close enough is good enough situation. We're talking about a level of precision, both in time and in audio level, that is, well, it's pretty astonishing, honestly. So part 1 of the solution is kind of brute force. We have to intentionally hold back the analog audio. We slap a big delay on it. This is what we call the diversity delay. It's usually set to around 8 seconds, basically forcing the analog to wait in the parking lot until its digital counterpart finally shows up. Now here's where it gets really mind-blowing. Look at that number. That 8-second delay has to be accurate to within plus or minus 68 microseconds. Let that sink in. At a 44.1 kilohertz sample rate, that's just 3 audio samples of wiggle room. 3. If you drift by 4 samples, your listeners are going to hear it as a weird echo or phasing. The tolerance is just insane. But wait, there's more. Getting the timing perfect is only half the battle. The audio levels have to be a near perfect match too. The tolerance here, just 1 decibel. Any more than that, and every time the receiver blends, the listener gets hit with an annoying jump in volume. And look, getting this right isn't a one-and-done job. It's a constant process. First, you have to precisely measure the exact delay of your specific digital chain. Then you set your analog delay to match it. After that, you fine-tune it down to that crazy microsecond tolerance. And this is the big one. You have to monitor it all the time because I promise you this alignment will drift. And what about that 1 dB level match? That all comes down to good old-fashioned, disciplined gain staging. Every single box in your audio chain, from the processor to the exciter to the final gain on the transmitter, it all plays a part. You have to look at the entire system as one cohesive unit to keep it locked in. Okay, so let's shift gears. We've got our signal timed perfectly, the levels are matched, now we just have to get it on the air. And this, my friends, is where we often discover that the trusty old analog FM transmitter that's been humming along for years just isn't going to cut it anymore. The reason why boils down to 3 little letters, PAPR, peak to average power ratio. See, a standard FM signal is pretty consistent in its power level. But this complex digital OFDM signal, it has these massive, instantaneous spikes in power. If your transmitter can't handle those peaks cleanly, it just clips them off, and that creates a whole world of distortion. This table really lays it all out. Your old Class C box was a workhorse, built for high efficiency, sure, but look at its linearity. It's poor. It just can't reproduce those peaks. For HD radio, you absolutely need a Class AB transmitter. Yeah, it sucks a bit more power and isn't as efficient, but its linearity is fantastic, and that's completely non-negotiable for passing a clean HD signal. Now, the real brains of this whole operation is the modern exciter. This thing is where all the magic happens. It's grabbing the analog audio, the digital data streams, the station logos, the song titles, everything, and weaving it all together into that single, complex hybrid signal that you then feed to your power amplifier. It's a critical piece of the puzzle. Okay, so we get the big challenges now: time, level, and power. Let's talk about what this means day to day.
Because keeping an HD signal pristine isn't about the initial setup. It's about ongoing discipline, best practices, and knowing what to do when things go sideways.
This is not set it and forget it tech, not by a long shot. You need a routine. Every day, you're glancing at your monitors, checking power, scrolling through alert logs. Every week, you're putting a meter on it and verifying those two golden rules: time alignment within 3 samples and levels within 1 dB. And every month, you're breaking out the spec on to make sure you're staying inside your legal map.
And please, I'm begging you, document everything. Your settings, your measurements, draw out your signal chain. Because when, not if, something breaks at 2 in the morning, that binder, that file on your laptop is going to be your absolute best friend for getting back on the air fast.
So let's run through a classic scenario. You get an email. Hey, the station sounds kind of hollow and weird. Ding, ding, ding. That's your alarm bell. I'd bet my lunch money your time alignment has drifted. So you grab a split mode receiver, confirm the offset, and then it's time to get your hands dirty, recalibrating that analog delay. And your spectrum analyzer is your other go-to troubleshooting weapon. Let's say your digital coverage just seems weak or a neighboring station is complaining. Put the transmitter output on the analyzer. If you see those digital sidebands starting to grow shoulders, that's spectral regrowth, it's a dead giveaway that your transmitter is struggling with linearity. So if you walk away with nothing else today, burn this into your brain. Precision is absolutely everything. These two numbers right here, plus or minus 68 microseconds on your timing and 1 dB on your levels, these are the bedrock of a great sounding HD radio signal.
And takeaway number 2, your gear has to be up to the job. That high peak to average power ratio of the HD signal is incredibly demanding. It requires a linear Class AB transmitter. There's really no way to cheat on this one if you want a clean signal.
And that brings us to one last thing to chew on. You know, so much of this alignment is becoming automated, and our air chains are moving into the cloud. So does that mean our jobs are changing? Is the next big fight for broadcast engineers going to be less about RF and more about mastering IP networks and defending our stations from hackers? Definitely some food for thought. Thanks so much for tuning in.